This beat is genius. You see, the original sample is actually 7 bars long, but instead of trying to squeeze that into 4 bars, J Dilla kept the original length and then laid it over the top of 4/4 drums, which made this really fascinating polyrhythm over the course of the whole song. And since the math doesn't really line up neatly, the sample actually starts at a different point on each hook. Check it out.
What you say? Get this money. 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 If this ain't what you gonna do.
But as I dug deeper into this record, I found even more secrets that are going to change how you think about making beats. So I isolated the mono and stereo elements of the beat using something called mid-side. Take a listen to what's happening in the side channel. Can you hear it kind of pulsating? It's going like, that means that there's some kind of fast panning that he's doing inside of the sample since, the mono elements are being ignored. But you might be thinking, couldn't Herbie Hancock have just played it that way in the original sample? But here's the original record with the same exact isolation. It's gone, which means that this panning is something that Dilla added to make the sample subtly more interesting. So if we did something similar with auto pan here. By adding some rhythmic movement to the sample, it carves space in the center of the stereo image for the vocals, which is, something that you can use in your own beats as well. Another fascinating thing about this beat is that unlike most things that you hear these days, it does not start on beat 1. It actually starts on the 7th beat of the previous section to kind of jumpstart the groove. The question is, was it a coincidence that it starts on the 7th beat of the previous section and the sample was 7 bars long? I'd argue not. And not only that, look at the grid here. There are no kicks on any of the first downbeats in the whole song, which is why starting on beat 7 from the previous section where there is a kick is so effective. But the missing downbeat is only half of the story of the groove. Take a listen to what it sounds like with quantized drums. It's honestly not the worst thing in the world, but it just has so much more sauce the way that he does it. Just look how far he pushes his percussion off of the grid. So you can see that the hats are slightly swung and about 12 milliseconds late. The kicks are also a bit early. The claps, though, are a whopping 40 milliseconds early. Isn't it funny? You just move a few things around and it just like, ugh. So now I want you to check out what his drums sounded like isolated into just the side channel. Did you hear the tail on the hat and the claps there? That means that there's some kind of space on both of those elements. I've heard rumors that Dilla used to record the output of his percussion from the speakers back into a microphone and then, resample them back into his sampler. I can't find any sources for that. They're just rumors at this point. Maybe it is just like a small wooden room reverb from some hardware unit. Speaking of hardware, here's something crazy that Dilla used to do to get his sub bass sounds, spoken from the man who saw it happen.
He puts a record on the turntable and he says the needle on the turntable and the turntable's not running, and he puts the volume all the way to the top and it's making a feedback noise, and he gets the SP1200, records that, and then suddenly he puts it on all the keys and now I'm like, this is how you get your bass tones?
So I took his bass sound and I stuck it into Melodyne just so I could see what type of waveform it is. And it kind of sounded like a square waveform, but actually look at all of these interesting harmonics and all this noise that was added. So maybe he really did sample his turntable after all. And you can hear just how fat it sounds on the record. The lesson here is not to copy Dilla. It's that the constraints of your equipment are features, not bugs. And that perfect symmetry is the enemy of vibe. So go break the rules of the grid.